Good afternoon. Welcome to the Franklin Township Board of Trustees regular board meeting on May the 28th, 2026 at 12 noon. Anybody that would like to have a conversation with anybody in the room, please step out into the foyer for your conversation, not to disturb others, and you're more than welcome to come back in. Byron, could you open us up with a pledge, sir? I'm sorry, a prayer.
Yes. Father God in heaven, Lord, we thank you for this day of life. Lord, I just ask that you be with each and every person here, their families. Bless them, bless our meeting. Give us a good heart, and just help us get through this as best we can, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Jan, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Byron, will you turn those lights on back there?
You're right behind Mike's head.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Let's see, ma'am. We'll take a roll call when you're ready, ma'am.
Trustee Fleshman?
Yes.
Trustee Evans?
Yes.
Trustee Fuller?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept today's agenda. Can I get a second?
I will second that, sir.
Discussion. We need to add an item.
Sure, sir.
So you'll help walk me through this to make sure I do it correctly. So I would, so do I go ahead and make another motion?
I would just tell what you're adding.
Okay. We're going to add a BWC claim to the agenda today. Where would you like it to go, ma'am?
Under new business.
Under new business, and you'll take care of putting it on your copy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I will second that, sir, and roll call when you're ready.
So this would be a roll call on
The whole thing.
all of it?
All of it.
Okay, perfect. Ma'am, roll call.
Trustee Fleshman?
Yes.
Trustee Blevins?
Yes.
Trustee Fuller?
Yes.
Okay, moving along. No one from the Sheriff Department, Byron?
No.
So then I'm going to turn it over to Robin. She has a couple of gentlemen that would like to speak to the board. And so at this time, Robin, if you want to introduce everyone. We've had the chance to meet one of the gentlemen. Where we can just do introductions and have them take the podium.
Come on up to the podium. These two gentlemen, we've spoken multiple times. It's been a pleasure to kind of have conversation with them and learn a little bit more about what they can offer to Franklin Township. They are a company that does what I would consider to be, and they'll get more into detail, benefit broker. That would be their expertise, kind of like in the broker that we have currently now. This would just be new faces and maybe some new support teams and things like that. So I'm just going to put it right on over to them and let them take it from here.
Thank you, Robin. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, trustees. Appreciate it. And just wanted to say thank you for welcoming us back. And we were here last year, but wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to kind of go over how we might be able to assist the township and maybe bring some efficiency to some of the processes you have and maybe some support to your employees, and then obviously the administration as well. So I'm Michael Hopper. I've been with McGowan Brabender for 3 years. We are an employee benefits broker. We are employee owned. A little bit different in the market. Kind of helps us align our incentives with our clients and not to shareholders. And then this is my colleague.
Justin Feltner, senior consultant with McGowan Brabender. Been with the company 10 years now. And yeah, super excited and grateful to be here with you all today.
Yep, thank you. So we're just going to touch on the agenda. We're going to go through pretty quick. I know you guys have a full agenda today, so we're just going to hit on some main topics. If you give us the opportunity to get through some of the information, we'll obviously take some time afterwards. If you guys want to dig into something deeper or have any questions, we'd be happy to answer those.
Perfect. Good deal. Well, I'll dive into the quick discussion items here on page 2, just as a high-level overview. Michael did a great job from an overview perspective. I might hit on a couple additional things. Then we'll talk, I'd say the 3 big things are claims resolution efficiency, employee advocacy, benefits administration efficiency from a technology perspective, and third would be driving the process from an annual renewal timeline perspective. So before we dive into each of those three pieces, just to zoom out to Robin's point and Michael's point, we are an independent broker consultant. You have the ability in your role to make any decision you want on benefits broker consultant at any time without it changing anything about your policies, without it changing the cost to the township or the cost of the employees. It's a very independent decision from your insurance carriers. So I always like to preface that. It wouldn't be any change to your rates, any change to your cost. You have the freedom and flexibility to make a change in representation at any time without it impacting any of those things. So just a high level, Michael talked about briefly, we're independent, employee owned, operating in Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, 1,500 clients across that market region. Average client size is right around 45, 50 employees, so right in your kind of neck of the woods from that perspective. You're right in our sweet spot from a client perspective. We won't dive into all the different pieces and parts of our consulting today, but we will hit on those top three things that I talked about on the discussion outline. Michael, anything you wanted to add there from a MD overview perspective before we dive in?
Just from an expertise perspective, we play a lot in the public entity field. We work with over 215 public entity clients between schools, cities, counties, townships, local governments like yourself. So a lot of which too, we do have some local relationships here in Franklin County as well.
So if we flip the page to page 6, the three things that we're going to dive into. First, we'll talk about claims resolution efficiency, which really comes back to our approach to employee advocacy. So at our organization, we have a team of people who all they do on a day-to-day basis is help the employees of our clients when they have claims issues. So incorrect billing, needing help filing something manually, questions from that perspective. Our team is able to field those types of things, and that's all they do on a regular basis. So that will take some time back from the township and the folks that work on these types of things, providing efficiency from that perspective. A pretty extreme case scenario here on page 7, but just to represent kind of the work that this team does every day. We had an employee of one of our clients that needed regular screening for brain aneurysms, went to one of those regular screenings and something was caught. They needed a air ambulance to another facility for a specialist on their specific situation, and thankfully they were okay. All worked out from that perspective, but they ended up with a $40,000 air ambulance bill at home that was out of network. So what this team was able to do, it took our team 10 months to resolve it. 130 emails, 45 phone calls to both the insurance companies and the hospital system and the air ambulance company. Eventually, our team was able to get that air ambulance ride waived and covered by the hospital. So, that's 10 months, 130 emails, 45 phone calls that would have otherwise had to be made by, Michael or I, who are not experts on the weeds of this type of thing.
Correct.
The claims management. Somebody like Robin in her seat, or the employee themselves having to try to navigate that type of thing. So if you ask our clients their number one favorite thing about working with us, most would say our advocacy team. So
Yeah.
Anything to add on that front?
Just from a process perspective, if an employee calls in, they're not going to be transferred. When they get an advocate on the line, they're assigned to that person. That advocate walks them through the entire process, doing everything in the background, but providing them updates as they move along. But it's more of just a fire and forget for the employee's perspective to be able to let that go, because I understand how stressful that can be, especially if your balance billed for something is covered, but the insurance company tells you it's not. Pre-authorizations for prescriptions has been a real big one recently, that they're more than welcome to assist in communicating with the provider, your doctor, the insurance carrier to make sure those things go smoothly.
Nobody wants to call an insurance company. My least favorite thing to do, and I'm in the industry.
Yeah.
So calling insurance companies is not anybody's favorite thing, and this team, that's all they do, so able to kind of shift that off the plate. Two more quick things, and then we'll take questions and we'll close. From an enrollment technology perspective, on page 8, you all have enrollment technology today. However, there's some efficiencies that could be found in making the current system even better. One of the big things would be setting up automatic file feeds to the insurance carriers that don't exist today. Something we specialize in and can help with. Essentially allow, once somebody makes an enrollment in that system, it would flow over automatically to the carrier without any hands having to touch it from the Franklin Township side, from our side. Very automated, and saves our clients a lot of time from that perspective.
Yeah, and the reporting aspect, pulling data, getting things of that nature, it has the capability, but hasn't been set up to do so yet. And then even from an open enrollment perspective, not having to worry about paper, submitting those types of forms, having it all automatically done where the employees can access it from a computer, enroll, and then that stuff is communicated without having to submit forms or relying on somebody else to submit them or sending emails. Again, efficiency is kind of what we're trying to move towards here to get the system to work the way it actually is designed to work.
Correct. Yeah. And then last but not least is partnership and transition timeline. So we built this timeline working backwards from your open enrollment or your effective date of January 1st, 2027. We meet on a quarterly basis with all of our clients so that we're very proactive in the planning process. There are certain things that we are beholden to the carriers from a timing perspective, but we like to do everything that's in our power that we have control over as soon as we can do it. That way, nothing's ever waiting on us or you all to move on to the next step. So we kind of line itemed out everything that would go into the transition timeline here. An ideal go live date would be June 1st or July 1st at the very latest, but this is built off of June 1st and being able to make a decision on partnership by the end of May. Conduct any education on different health plan options in July, have a pre-renewal planning meeting in the middle of August. Renewals and proposals would be due from carriers in mid-October. To be able to have renewal meeting and recommendation review in early November. And goal always to be to have those open enrollment meetings before Thanksgiving when possible. Worst case scenario, that first week after Thanksgiving. That way, ID cards are in hand if any changes are made on January 1st.
I think that the biggest piece of this puzzle is you will have a dedicated team, you'll have an account manager, you'll have a benefit specialist, you'll have Justin and I both involved in this process. We're the ones who drive that process throughout the year. You all have enough on your plate, you're dealing with plenty of things for the community here, so having us in there to be able to drive that process and make sure there's milestones throughout there to make sure that we're never in a situation where things happen on the back end or late. So just wanted to make sure that that was a sticking point.
And that's it.
That's it. We want to be efficient.
Yes.
I'm sorry about that, but like you saw, we do have
I
a
know.
huge agenda.
We want to
Yeah.
be respectful
I
of your
gave
time.
you warning up front because we could have done this at a different meeting, and you hit it on the.
I think we did pretty
You
good.
did really well. You did better than well.
Was there
Um,
anything?
How about better than most? How's that?
Appreciate it. Thank you. Anything specific based on what we touched on here for just a couple minutes that we might be able to answer for?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
So one of the things I'm seeing in the medical field that is changing a lot is the AI answering service. I absolutely hate it.
Me too.
We all have busy schedules, we all have busy life, and there is no way to get around it. You can say operator, you push 0, it hangs up. When our people want to call, or even like Robin wants to call on our behalf or etc., we want to talk to a live person.
Yep.
Or leave an old-fashioned message and someone call you back.
Yes.
Are you guys keen on that, or do you rely on the AI?
So if I'll go ahead and take it. One of the reasons why our advocacy team was created is we understood the process of getting there is difficult, being passed around from department to department. Our team has been doing that for how long? 20 years? Mm-hmm. They know certain people within all of the carriers that give them the opportunity to bypass a lot of the initial AI or hit 6 to get here. We have direct contacts with that team who can help facilitate those conversations and make them move quicker. Again, the point is to take it off of your plate. you do enough, you don't know the insurance market, and even from Justin and I's perspective, I don't know who to call at Aetna to get something done, but our advocate team does.
And for your folks, your employees, when they call our team,
Right.
Human beings picking up
Oh,
the
yes.
phones. If a
Okay.
human being doesn't pick up the phone, it goes to a standard voicemail message machine to get a call back. So very traditional, normal process from that perspective. Robin would have our cell phone numbers, our emails, and the team member who would join the team. Michael and I never go anywhere uniquely. We're with the township if you were to work with us from now until hopefully the day that, hopefully there's never a day where you decide not to work with us. But if there were, we would be from day one to the end with you all. And like I said, Robin will have our cell phone numbers. You all will have our cell phone numbers to be able to call us if you need us.
I have employees of my other township clients calling me on the cell phone
Yep.
too, so that's not outside the bounds either. I'm really here from a customer service perspective.
So one of my last question, most important to the board, is we have seen where the ball's been dropped and not everyone has done the, help me out, Robin, employee navigator.
Of course.
So that we're able to get the best rate that we can get. The last time you guys were here, I liked what you projected. You even wanted to set up the meeting ahead of time to
Oh,
make
yes.
sure that we were ahead. So I like that forward thinking of where you were. What we really need is a team that can advocate to be able to get us the best price. We give our, I almost said residents, our employees some of the best benefits that we can. We don't pay the most, but we do have a good financial package. And it's absolutely essential that we can try to make sure that we've turned every stone to find the best package that fits our needs. And it sounds like to me, even from the previous time you were here, that you guys actually are pretty much on it.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're gonna not leave any stone unturned. Our job is to find everything in the market that would fit this organization and provide you value, whatever that might be. But I think what's even more important on that is educating all of you on what those options are and why it would be a good thing for the township, because us being able to speak the same language will make it easier for us to make good decisions for the township. So it's twofold.
And I think it's paramount that Robin has a team that she can work with that takes a lot off her plate, because every minute of the day of an 8-hour day is value to her.
Yep, no,
And that was our thought process behind focusing
That's
on,
all I have, sir.
efficiency too.
Yeah.
So couldn't agree more.
no.
Did you
there's a
have
lot to
anything,
do.
Brenda?
Cost?
Cost, so good question. Cost is built into your current insurance policies today, and it would not change if you decided to work with us. All that it would take to decide to work with us is we would provide a template letter to put on your township letterhead. You would send that back to us. We would send that to your current insurance carriers for processing, and basically all that would do is tell your insurance carriers, stop paying broker A, start paying broker B, and they are our new representation. There would be no change in the cost to the township or to the employees.
Anything else, ma'am? Robin, would you like to ask a question? ma'am?
Yeah, and if you can, because we've spoken several times, and one of the things that was exciting for me in the sense of for the staff
Yeah.
is that there's sometimes it's difficult for all the staff to attend like the in-person open enrollment.
Yep.
Because we've got fire department that are on 24 on, 48 off, so you have to do 3 days in a row. You've got police officers that are third shift, so it makes it difficult. And like when I'm looking at the employee navigator, we talked about like online, where the open enrollment educational piece
Yep.
could be where they just go in employee navigator, you click on it, and like the board could say, like you've done before, you mandate that everybody at least attends, or it's all digital, whatever the board would choose, that they just go in and click on that, watch the open enrollment tutorial, and then we're not trying to assemble 3 shifts of people and 3 different, not only fire departments, but then our police department and all these different things. So is that, I just want to make sure that I'm
When we-
recalling that
Yeah,
conversation
well, when we
around.
say full service, I mean, we really truly are full service. So we want to make sure that we're hitting every department And however that's done, everybody learns differently. So we can do a mesh of in-person, we can do recordings, whatever fits everybody's need. We do a lot of open enrollment recordings when we do the in-person, and then we can help upload that information either on one of our sites that we provide to you or to Employee Navigator or both, and make sure that that's part of the open enrollment process for new hires as well.
Yeah,
I'd
and
say
I know
that's
two of the department heads are here today, and so do you guys have, like, I know you know your people more than we do. Any questions particularly around like the annual open enrollment, and sometimes it's hard to get everybody in the same place when you're dealing with.
I don't think so. I think it'd be pretty much the same, wouldn't it?
I mean, do you like the fact that the option of doing it electronically, where like third shifters don't have to be staying over,
Right.
second shifters are trying to go out and do their job, and here we have people here trying to do a tutorial and who's on the street patrolling? Do you think that element is helpful for the staff?
Absolutely. It'll save money too.
Yes, sir,
Yeah,
it will,
Because
absolutely.
when we got people coming in off their special shifts, then we have to pay them more
Oh, yeah.
for that. So it's a savings to the township in the sense of the open enrollment. Because when you have people that have to come in off a third shift to sit for a meeting in the morning, we pay them for that. So this way they would just click on it on their computer and watch it and be ready to do open enrollment. So I just want to make sure that we shared the what I felt would be like a really good piece for the staff to feel the engagement of not having to be like, oh, I've got to get to the township for one of these 3-day
course.
meetings. And
Yeah, we can
that kind of thing.
customize it to whatever fits your population, your employees, your departments. Like I said, it's bespoke, so we can do it however you want.
That's the word, customizable.
Yep.
Whatever works, as we understand you all better, learn about the workforce and all the different nuances, we customize the open enrollment approach to what best fits your needs. And a lot love that recorded Zoom type style thing, that open enrollment meeting. So if I'm an employee, I could watch it anytime. My spouse at home can watch it.
I like it because I can fast forward.
Yeah.
Fast forward real life.
Yeah.
2 times.
Right, I don't know if you think that there's something in there, like particularly when you get to some of the benefits, like the extra electives, and you want to talk to your spouse about them, you can sit home and after dinner you can click it on and have, you know, your spouse watch this tutorial and say, hey, did we really want to pick up that extra life insurance? Do we want to get that accidental or the hospitalization? Because you're now engaging the spouse in that tutorial instead of just checking a box and saying, yeah, I'll take it.
Yep.
You're engaging your entire family in the choices that you're making.
Yes.
So I really like that for the fact of, for the staff side of things, and I just wanted to share that with the board.
So I'll wrap it up. So it's my understanding the last time you was here and you presented, it sort of went radio silence from our end.
Yes.
You really never heard anything back.
That happens.
So what I would like to do today is, I would like a little bit more time, so I'm gonna ask my fellow trustees if they would be interested in, if we take, today and, till Monday, if we have anything we can go. Robin seems to be well versed, so we could get a hold of Robin, any questions or concerns or anything like that, and then get, make a decision.
I think we would end up having to come in for special
Sure.
or executive. Would it be a special meeting?
I have a feeling that we have some meetings coming up.
Yeah.
That you had spoke
Yes.
with, so I feel like we can do that. I don't think we're in a position today, I'm not comfortable to make
No, it's
a
totally
decision
fine.
today.
We are totally available, both of us, cell phone information I gave you too, so
I
you
feel-
can call me anytime, I'm happy to have a conversation or answer any questions, I know Justin is too.
I feel like our employees watch this on YouTube a lot, so I welcome any employees who are watching this and would have a question to reach out to Robin and everything, but I think I assure you that you'll hear back from us this time and everything. I don't want you to think it was a wasted time or anything
Not at
like that. And one way or the other, you deserve a call back, and so I appreciate you coming in and everything. You got anything else for us?
That's it, we just appreciate the opportunity, thank you for having us.
Thanks for
Well, thank
coming
you for
back.
coming.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's
Thanks.
Well,
any-
Robin.
I will talk to you soon.
Yes, appreciate you.
all.
Good luck on the
Thank
rest of
you.
your meeting.
Thank you.
And I provided these to the department heads too,
Okay.
and there's some extras if they wanted to take some back.
So I'm going to drop back and say, if we haven't done so far, if you have your cell phones, please silence them at this time. And then we're going to move on to public comment. We'll give you 3 minutes to come to the podium. If you have any public comments or anything you'd like to address the board about, please feel free to step up and we're not real sticklers on the 3 minutes. The only time it really comes into play is you can't get into this, you gave them 4 or 5 minutes or whatever. So Patty, if you'd like to come up. you're
Been a
more than
while.
welcome. Sure, how are you?
Oh, doing well.
It's good to
finally.
see you again.
Doing well, doing well. Finally getting back into a rhythm. Okay, I was watching your last meeting. And let me clear up some comments that were made and maybe some misconceptions. As to the building on McCoy Park, as you all know, or as you've seen, the mayor took it away from the Southwest Area Commission and gave it to the women's soccer team. And so we don't have the park, we don't have the building. Since last week, our chair and our finance director have been working with the committee. We may get back 10 acres. We don't know yet for sure. Within that might be the building. We still don't know. Part of the reason, I know you had mentioned that I had wanted to move down there, or I didn't want to move down there. It's not my decision to make. I have a vote, but it's not my decision. My decision for not wanting to move down there is because 95% of who we deal with is up here. And that to me is like almost going to Pataskala to have a meeting for the Southwest Area Commission. That's just my view on it, but it's up to the committee as a whole to vote on it, if we ever get there. Coffee machine and copier. We have never used your coffee machine, never used your copier. We don't have a need to. We've heard it gurgling, but we've never used it. We don't have a need to use it. Last meeting, I did forget to put things back. We had a full house. We had a discussion about McCoy Park, and the press was here. We had another issue with a company, and residents were here. We didn't even get out of here till almost 10 o'clock. So that was my fault, because usually I put everything back the way boxes were and everything, because I know I moved a box up on top of the copier for seating. So that was my bad, and I apologize. The only thing we do ever borrow is the cord that goes here, and Nicole knows this. Monthly fee. The last 2 times we paid a monthly fee was 2 churches. They considered it tithing. If that's something you want to consider, that has to go through our finance lady, Leah Young, and I can give you her email. You can discuss that with her. She can bring it to us, and we'll make a decision on it. I'm not the one that decides that stuff. The PIN, if we get a card or a PIN, just know the only time we have ever used this without calling Nicole and saying, hey, we need this, can you accommodate us, is just at our meetings. Otherwise, I contact Nicole and ask permission to use this room for any other time, which I think I've done a couple times years ago. Do you guys, now moving on from all of that, do you guys get notified of annexations
Afterwards.
afterwards?
Legally, they're supposed to 10 days ahead of time.
Okay, so are you aware, I know there was a discussion last time about a proposed firehouse off of Gantz Road. No? I was notified through my Facebook group, that there was supposed to be a firehouse going up off of Gantz Road. And it had a Columbus Dispatch little title on it. So I was like, well, that would be really awesome, but I don't think so. So I did some checking, and the address on that would have been 2210 Gantz Road. And it was annexed from Township to Columbus back in 2024. Has nothing to do with a firehouse. It is a plot of land that is going to be married into the Willow Creek Park.
On Hardy Parkway?
Huh?
It's on Hardy Parkway, the park that you're speaking of.
The park starts at Hardy
Parkway,
Parkway,
and that's
goes
gonna
all the
go
way
back.
back to the creek, all the way back to the side street, and now apparently this plot of 3-some acres, I think, going toward Gantz Road. The only thing I do know, and I don't know if it's under township or if it's under county land, but on the west side of Gantz Road, down north of Collier Park, there's supposed to be a Mexican restaurant going in. And that's all I know about that. So, that's it for me.
I don't have anything for you other than to let you know on today's agenda, we are going to be talking about and possibly passing a resolution for a rental agreement, and if we do that, Nicole or Robin or somebody the board will decide what we're going to do, and one of those will be reaching out to. Do you want the contact person to be you?
Yeah, and then I can
And then you
refer
can-
you to who
Yep,
I need you to
but I'm
refer
just
you
letting you know that it's on here and we're going to.
That's fine.
Yeah, so, John, did you have anything?
I have nothing.
Brenda?
I just want to say thank you for coming in and letting us know these things. That's what my gripe was about the Southwest Area Commission being here, because we don't need to hear what's all going on in Columbus. We need to know what's going on in Franklin Township. And I want to thank you for that.
Well, that's
It was
how-
very good information today.
That's why I come to let you know that, Columbus likes to encroach.
Yeah, we know.
And I like to give forewarning. I would like to be told if something was going in from anybody that would affect my neighborhood, so, that's it.
All right, thank you.
you.
Is there anybody else? Public comment? We're gonna move forward. Department heads, Jim is on vacation. So would you like to go down the list and make some comments? I know that you asked for D to be put on here, and I'd put some other things on here. How do you wanna handle it? You wanna get with Jim?
Yeah, I just
We
want to
could-
talk to the board real quick, because I know there's some people that are gonna be watching this in regards to the pictures that you guys have all.
Yeah.
You got these. When Jim gets back, all of us received an email in regards to the condition. I went down, I think it's called Prospect, up there, basically behind Valley View, just before the curve where Mark Gray Company is. And I took some pictures this morning and shared it with the board. I think that we need to definitely look at the condition of the road, and i.e. the roadway or alleyway that connects out back onto Valley View Drive. That portion of the township, the email stated, I talked to the gentleman, that they feel that they have been forgotten about, and I can understand why. When I went through and viewed what I had to see, and I kind of would be, frankly, I'd be upset if I had to drive through that every day coming home and you pay taxes. So I guess this is a discussion for another day, but at least we mentioned it.
So what I'd like to do, John, since we think we're gonna get together one day next week for a reason, and we always start everything in a public meeting, and if Mr. Stevens was available, could we not just bring him in and do this whole entire section? Cause I have things on here that I'd like to get some answers
Absolutely.
to. I don't just write this stuff down just willy-nilly. A lot of it is reappears. Byron's probably knows better than anybody, and he stated that he liked it. I think we're going to finally have a few things drop off when we get down to him today, but, just, you know, the Gantz Road and Eastbrook intersection, I don't know how long we've been dealing with that. Ransburg turnaround, the part that you've just, spoke on, number D. E is the, calming devices, and then Township alleys. So we could just,
All at
if
one
we
time.
have together, we could just ask Mr. Stevens to come in.
Sure.
And we could address these or any other concerns. How you feel about that, ma'am?
That's fine with me.
I think, in fairness, we should let him know that the agenda and what's gonna be on it, so he could be prepared for
Yeah.
that.
I mean, he's on vacation, has every right to be on vacation. And
Sure.
And the meeting before this, his wife had something. And I'm not gonna
Right.
go into any details, but, this is no shade on Jim
No, no,
Stevens
no.
whatsoever.
No, I'm
This
just
is,
saying,
how
I
we
hate to
do
bring him
things.
in
We will notify
and him
him.
not have any
Would
information.
you, please let, Jim know? I'll probably stop and talk to him on Monday. I'm going to be out a few days next week myself, but I'm going to be finishing up a lot of things on Monday, but if you could let him know also, but I'll stop and talk to him on
Do
Monday.
you have potentially what?
We don't
day?
know, so we will
Okay.
let him know as soon as we know.
Okay,
And if he's
perfect.
available, he can come back in and we could, have a discussion on these items, and if not, we'll catch him in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I would like to,
Okay.
have a discussion, or we could all reach out to him independently, however you wanna do it.
I
But,
think having him in a meeting at one time and all of us here, the dialogue back and forth, and he'll be back from that time, so it's during his
Sure.
normal schedule, so it's not too difficult for him to step in.
Yeah, I hope he finishes up and enjoys his vacation, he deserves it. Anybody in the audience that would like to reach out with a question to Mr. Stevens, if you'll leave it with, any of the three ladies here. He's very good about getting back to people, but it won't be till the first of next week. Please do so. With that being said, I'm going to, move on to the fire department. Did you have something else, ma'am? I'm sorry.
I do, real quick. I think this gentleman here had a question. He had to step out to take a phone call
Okay,
during public comments
Oh.
when you had offered the public
That was
comment.
just about the building, I was just wondering about, cause I mean, it's, you know, the taxes thing is, you know, we live in Franklin Township, you know, we ain't a big thing, you know, everybody ain't working, and, you know, retires, and, I was just wondering, you know, I got the thing, and, you know, I just got blew out of the water about, you know, $5.9 million for this, and, you know, he explained to me that, you know, it's from somebody else that did it, and, it's just, you know, I was just wondering, you know, be curious to find out, you know, just where all the money's going to. Hell, if I had $2 million, I'd give $1 million to the fire department, $1 million to the police, and that'd cover them for a while. But, you know, I ain't like that. But we gotta have the police and, you know, the fire, you know, and that's, for Franklin, I mean, this is our community. It ain't Columbus and it ain't nobody else's. We live here.
Right, and
I don't care
somebody-
if none of us get along, it's where we live at though.
Right, and
Yeah.
somebody from the outside is trying to stir the pot, because
Well,
that
you know-
5.9 mil that you're talking about,
Yeah,
that wasn't a new tax, that was just to make this one go away and this one stay.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, that's just like, you know, somebody's running, I didn't sign it. They're trying to get a petition to send to the Attorney General, and I told them I ain't signed, so I, you know, cause I'm illiterate on all that crap. I mean, I'll pay my taxes, I might bitch about them, but I'll pay them. But, you know, other than that, I'm not signing, you know, a witch hunt or whatever in the hell it is, I'm not gonna sign.
Sure.
Do it. You know, cause if you don't know, you just don't know. I mean, I'm happy to live
And
here.
I hope I explained it well enough
Yeah,
that
you
you
did.
understand it.
But I hope I die, I mean, I bought my dad's home and I plan on, you know, if I pass away, I wanna pass away here in Franklin Township. I mean, it's my home.
Yeah.
It's like you grow up as a kid in a home, you know, you never forget, you might not live there, but you never forget, but I've been there for so long, you know, it's just where I am.
can I get your name and address for the record?
Yeah, William Markham.
Okay. So, is that, you good? Did,
Anything else, sir?
anything?
No, I'm good with that, that's,
Okay.
you know, he explained, it. My address,
Robin, did you want
Yes,
to say?
please.
it's 1905 Westfield Drive.
Mhm.
We'll go with you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't have any updates or stats for you today. The Toucher truck event
Brenda, this is you asked.
I would like to know, if we could have touch a truck from the fire department and the police department for, a community event that, Helping Hands is, they're in desperate need of food, for our community, and, that's who they serve, and, I would like to know if the board would be interested in allowing, these two departments, even the road department, for that matter, to have trucks up there and,
Engagement, community engagement.
right, because, our fire, our police, our road department, they are not bad people, and I would love for the community to come out
Engage.
and interact with them and know what kind of people they are, that their tax dollars are paying for. So, I just think it's a good idea, and I would hope you two would too.
Was there a date that they're looking at?
June 13th.
Okay.
11 to 4.
Yeah, from 11 to 4. And that would be at Westland Mall.
Now, Westland Mall are behind,
Like, it would be to the east of the traffic light.
so over by basically Sheets.
No,
The other end.
the other side of the traffic light.
Bob Evans, John.
Bob Evans? Okay,
Yeah.
so that way people know it's behind Bob Evans.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll have signs and stuff out there, and
You can just take runs from there if you get them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're good with it. Because they always like to let the department head run the department, so I just wanted to check.
Oh, no.
Everybody was making things and not asking you, so.
I can't promise they'll be here all 5 hours, but
Sure.
we'll get
Right.
the
So,
majority.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, for the people at home, if I can clarify this. On June 13th, between the hours of 11 and 4, Helping Hands is a pantry that is here in the township, and they're looking at anyone that could bring out canned goods or anything of that nature that helps people in our own community that may fall on hard times or need assistance. And they have been working in Franklin Township for a number of years now, and this would be a great opportunity to come out, check out our equipment, check out the firemen and our police, and if you would like to bring out any kind of canned goods, or Chief, what else would we need?
Anything non-perishable.
Non-perishable, that's the word I was looking for. That would be a big help.
thank you, John.
Do we need a motion for this?
Probably.
So, Mr. Chairman, would you like me to
Go
make
ahead,
a
sir.
motion?
Yep.
So be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board approves for Touch a Truck Day, which will be June 13th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. In conjunctions with the police department, the fire department, and do we want to include the road department if they're available, or is that a whole new, a piece of equipment that the kids seem to like, and when we
And the
do.
board would have to approve the overtime.
There's overtime involved.
So at this point, we can get back to that and
Sure.
see what we can do. If there's no further questions on the matter, I would ask for a second.
I'll second it second it.
John, where's it
As stated.
located?
This will be located behind the Bob Evans on West Broad Street and 270. Yeah, so you got the Sheets and the Bob Evans, it'll be directly behind there in that area. Just look for the flashing lights, I'm sure.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
The one item I did want to talk about today is, so Columbus City is going to a dispatch model for emergency runs where they're going to try to take some of the non-emergent calls and have those handled by a company that is called Crosswalk Health, and they have basically set themselves up to handle the non-emergent calls that have flooded our emergency response system and the ERs and everything else. So Columbus is going to do this, and since they dispatch us, they give us the opportunity to come in and say, hey, this is how we're gonna do it for the city of Columbus. You can use our model, or we can make your model however you want. But their model is pretty solid. It basically takes the runs that would be more suited for an urgent care or a doctor's office or a pharmacy, and they help them that way. And then within that, there's a lot of other services provided there. So if you call 911 and you're new to the area and you don't have an emergent need, you just have a need, and 911 is a number you know, they have so many resources to help you find family doctors, health clinics, whatever your need may be that's not 911, so we're not sending trucks, lights, and sirens to non-emergent run. But within that system, they want an agreement basically signed by Franklin Township that says, hey, we're gonna go with the Columbus model, and we agree with all the legal stuff that goes along with an agreement like that. So I sent it to you and Julie. Julie has sent it back, came back yesterday. She had some very minor, just language corrections in there. If you all don't have any questions, or if you're comfortable moving forward with this, I think all I would need was a motion, because there's no cost to the township in this whatsoever. Just a motion that I could authorize as your representative to sign that agreement when it's ready to go.
That could be it. Oh, did you have a question? Did you want a question?
Two concerns.
Sure.
First concern, can we opt out if we find that this model's not working for us?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The second question, what's an emergency in one person's eyes versus another? So what I'm concerned about is a taxpayer, and I've rode with you guys. I understand that someone got a bloody nose because the two brothers were playing out back and the ball hit him in the nose, and you know, you could just go to urgent care. My concern is some of the people in their time of need get switched over to someone else, and they're like, look, we just want an ambulance to come, but they're on the verge of a line of going, is it really an emergency, or can we send them over to this other agency that's going to help? I'm concerned about that fine line.
So at any point, if the person is transferred over to the Crosswalk Health, if they
Yes.
say, hey, I just want a truck,
Yeah,
then they get switched back and the truck gets dispatched.
perfect.
So they try to limit that, where you're not forced anywhere. If you say, they say, hey, based on your emergency, we have this other service we can move you over to, they're like, no, I just want somebody here.
Right.
They don't even get sent. And it just goes back to
Okay.
the way it's always been.
I appreciate that. That was a concern
Yeah.
for me, because I could see, I know it was even my dad, and he's 93, and what he may not consider is really an emergency, that is an emergency.
Yeah.
And he downplays it or something. And as you know, time is of the essence when it comes to something like that.
Yep.
So, thank you.
Yeah.
Brenda?
Does it include, if someone's having a mental crisis too?
Yeah, so if they are able to hit all their criteria from their protocols, they have access to all the mental health resources in this area as well. So they can split that off and get them the help they need. And Columbus already provides us with a bunch of those kind of services anyway, so it just adds to that side of it.
Okay, thank you.
To be brutally honest, the amount of people that are going to be affected by this that live in Franklin Township is not a very big number, because most of our runs, unfortunately, because of mutual aid, go into Columbus, and then the response down here is going to be people coming out of Columbus. And so if Columbus puts it into play, the people that live here are going to be affected by it basically without.
So the computer would identify a Franklin Township address beforehand, so even if it was down, if you call from here or on Garrow,
No, I'm not, it's not a
You get
complaint,
this-
I'm just
if
trying
we-
to say.
If we were to opt out of this, it
I'm
doesn't
not
matter
for
what they
that,
call it.
I'm not
Yeah,
for that, I'm
understood.
just trying to say, John's talking about the township residents, that's who we represent, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
So I look at those stat runs that you send me every day, 7 days a week,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm speaking to, is the number of runs
Oh,
that
yeah.
we actually make in the township.
Yes.
You understand my question now? So, can he just state the motion and then I second it? Or
Yes,
do-
sir.
Okay, Bob, do you mind?
Just a motion of the Board of Trustees for Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, to authorize Fire Chief Bob Arnold to sign an agreement with Crosswalk Health once it is through both sides of the legal process.
I accept the motion as stated. Can I get a second?
I will second.
Discussion, I think we had it. Can we get a roll call?
Mm-hmm. Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
Trustee Blevins,
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
And so you didn't, we have it on here twice, unfortunately. D is more stats, and you already stated you didn't have anything for this meeting. Does the board have anything for Bob? Brenda?
Hey, Bob, I got a question for you.
Sure.
So, you know, Columbus Fire is having a lot of issues currently. So are other townships having the same issues with having to service Columbus majority of the time rather than their own township?
I don't think Columbus has lost any level of service. They're staffing trucks with less people and they're operating with fewer like specialty vehicles, but your everyday runs, I think, it hasn't affected those.
So what happens, okay, so last I heard that there are no ladder trucks on this side of town, on the west side. So what would we do if we had a fire in a 4-story apartment building?
So it's hit or miss on whether they have ladder trucks around. It's not just the west side, and they disperse them as possible, so it might be a delayed response by a couple minutes, but nothing significant.
Okay. I just wanted to double check on that because
For sure. And
obviously we're getting a lot
The
of
trucks are
them.
still coming with people, it's just not necessarily one of the big aerials, so they'll come with ladders and then that other truck's a couple minutes behind, whether it's coming from downtown, 10s, 12s, whichever one. And they're typically, they don't have them for 12 hours at a time until they get one out of the shop or whatever. And they have more on the way, so I think it's a temporary issue there.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're staying or going, so I'm going to speak on it later, but I wanted to thank you and Jason coming to the scholarship award ceremony. I know going up on the stage wasn't your favorite thing to do, but you looked good up there. I just wanted to tell you, thanks.
No, thanks for doing it.
Yeah, for sure, so.
Absolutely.
Does anybody in the audience have anything?
I'd like to know how many calls or services that we do at the casino, and when it's dispatched, does our township take those since we're the closest to the casino, or does Columbus Fire Department take those calls?
So if we're the closest appropriate vehicle to the emergency called in, we do take it. So I just happened to look at some run numbers from 2025, and we went to the casino 214 times.
Wow. Seems like you're servicing the casino that probably opposed our fire levy more than this side of town that actually needs you here.
For sure.
So if you would move the fire department back over here on Frank Road, Columbus Fire would have to take care of the casino.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I was just gonna ask, on 26s there on Fisher Road, are they no longer carrying a ladder truck there anymore?
No, they do.
Okay.
They do. If it was out of service for whatever mechanical
Right,
reason
right.
and they didn't have another actual ladder truck to
Sure.
put there, that crew rides some other fire truck
Gotcha.
to get to, but it's typically a very limited amount of time. And it's certainly not like every day they're doing it.
Are you aware of the CF duct tape thing?
I've seen it, but I haven't spent a lot of time in it.
So, I'm
I
just
saw it
after,
made the news the other day.
because they're putting out a lot of stuff against Columbus Fire, so. And I heard that 26 was closing.
It's not.
It's not?
Promise, no. They're not gonna
Okay.
close any firehouse.
Okay,
I
thank you.
think that's it, sir. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Chief?
Thank you.
Sir. How's everybody?
Great. Some of it's gonna go quick, sir.
We will start with the April stats, since that's first. Let's see. For April, we had 1,158 calls for service from April 1st to April 30th. There were 115 arrests served, 77 reports taken, 51 vehicles impounded. Let's see. 911 hang-up calls, 113, 112 complaints that were investigated, 66 ambulances requested, 60 suspicious persons, 44 non-injury accidents, 41 suspicious persons and vehicles, 37 domestic complaints, 29 mental health runs, 27 injury accident runs, 9 OVI related calls. Let's see here, 8 burglaries in progress, 8 animal complaints, 7 fights, 4 missing persons, 20 investigations where it's a unknown nature that people don't really know what's going on. They just call 911 and we figure it out when we get there. 9 calls of shots fired in the area, 7 suicide attempts, 7 vandalisms, 2 narcotics complaints, 6 threat harassment complaints, 159 traffic offenses. 3 of those were with motorbikes, ATVs, mini bikes, that sort of thing, and 2 overdoses.
Busy.
Questions on those at all?
I don't have any.
Okay. Update on the bid acceptance for Cruiser 301. So we did not hear back from the first winner, so we had to go to number 2. Robin, did we determine we have to change that motion?
Yeah, we just have to amend the motion. I brought the little paper when we put the
Okay.
names on it. We would just need to change it from, it would have been Mohammed Ba to Solomon Gabriel.
Okay.
So we just have to amend the motion.
Okay.
We just look for the one that's got the 4,000 and the 3,500. Because the
Oh,
amounts are different, like we
oh, I
went
gotcha,
from
yeah.
4,000 to 3,500 due to a non-response.
Right. So we went with the second highest bidder, which was for $3,500. His name, do you need me to spell it, or do you have it?
I can,
Solomon, Selemon, and then Gabriel, Gebriel.
it was for 3,500, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I accept the motion as stated. Can I get a second?
I will second.
Discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call when you're ready, ma'am.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you want that background?
Sure. Just put it with me. Thank you.
So we can finally put this one to bed, sir, correct?
Yes, sir.
I did want to go ahead, because you and I had a discussion about it real quick. You want to let everybody know, like, funds for this and what they go back to?
Yeah, so when these funds come in for the sale of property or something like that, it goes into like a fees type line items, and that's what we use to purchase the second cruiser that we got this year.
So, I mean, we're working very hard to be able to purchase the one that we have on, and if we can get enough money in from special duty and things like this, to be able to get the second car
Yeah.
again this year, correct?
Yes.
So I just wanted to mention that to everyone. So, go ahead, sir, I'm sorry, I didn't wanna.
Oh, you're fine. Update on the new hire, so he is still going through the background process. We're gonna get him scheduled for his physical. I should know something definitive by the next meeting.
I'll just put it back on then.
Yep, just keep him on there.
Yep. Did you want me to take this one, sir? Cause I don't know.
If you want, I mean, it kinda got left off with, the discussion. I don't know if Julie's gotten back.
So here's what happened with that part, what I know, and you probably know this first part. The company has no desire to meet with us. Nicole reached out
Okay.
to them. And the only thing they wanted from us is where are the bikes, and I'm gonna go pick them up and move them somewhere else in the township. When we told them there was 3 of them in people's front yard, and Nicole would write back and say, you know, we would like you to come in and have a sit down with the trustee and chief of police and not myself. And they had no desire, so, by the time I was able to get back to Julie, I'd received an email from her that she was going to be out of the office for 5 days over the holiday.
Okay.
So I would like to push this one, and at the next meeting, I mean, I had a discussion with her, and the discussion was, the best thing for us to do is just ban them altogether in the township. But, we can have, another discussion with her, get something from her.
It would be, we would need to make sure we ban the rental of them, because people own them,
Yeah, no, yeah, it's the,
rental.
It's more or
Yes.
less the banning of leaving them laying
Yeah, it's the
around.
littering, they call it.
so, but she said this part about, trying to regulate it and put a place for them to park them and all that's going to get sort of muddy, but I don't mind, bringing it to her attention if that's what you want, but that's where that stands, so. I put this on here, Byron, I thought you might like to give an update, just, maybe the other trustees already have it, I don't really know where it stands. I know I got all the information on what happened, but do we have it fixed and everything?
One number, yes, so I'm still waiting on the insurance carrier from the car wash to get back with us. I did notify Otarma and go through their process just in case they've got to deal with them directly. So we've done everything on our end. I should hear something, I would assume by the end of this week, or early next week.
Be good to
How
leave it
long
on
does
there?
take? Yes.
Another week?
Absolutely.
Just for updates purposes,
Yeah.
that's all.
I did talk to Jim briefly about F. He hasn't heard back from ODOT yet on that. We might entertain another conversation with the property owner.
I think we need to find out, I think it's at a place where we need to find out if the DOT is going to consider it a dangerous intersection or not.
Yeah.
I mean, they came back and said they wasn't gonna do anything as far as okaying us to be able to do that, but that we could, it was their recommendation to Jim that we could take this other route and consider it a dangerous intersection and see if we couldn't get some traction
Yeah.
going from that direction, so, I think we need to, get the name of the person that Jim contacts and maybe do our own contact.
Okay.
And then I asked for, G to be put on there on the speed trailers, I had a thought on them. This is sort of twofold. The calming devices had been left off for, with Jim not being here and everything, and so it sort of went radio silence with people calling and saying, or texting and saying, I want calming devices on my road, and you know what I'm trying to say, it's like, you're gonna put them on Randsburg, you're gonna put them on Lowell, you're gonna put them here or there. We want, but you don't hear from anybody any other time, do you understand what I'm
Right.
trying to say, until you're about to do some action and then
Everybody
I want
wants
them.
in on it.
And
yeah.
so my thought was, on the website, could we put, something on the website, and how do you feel about this, for the speed trailer? So say you live on Jackson and you want a speed trailer on Jackson, go on there and say, I would love to have a speed trailer on Jackson. I'm sure you've been moving them around, but
Sure.
it's your own
My own thought, yeah.
observations of where they should go. If you really believe and they should be on your street, you'd be like I was and sit back there
Yeah.
for 7 or 8 years now and complain about the speed on your street
Right.
and be dogging about it like I am,
Yeah.
okay? So how do you feel about that, and do you think
I
it's
think
something, how about the board, do you think that's a
Yeah.
good idea? There, we bought 2 of them,
I think
and let's
that's a
use
good
them.
idea.
Not that you're not using them, but let's
Right.
let the people to say, and then if they don't say, then you choose to put them where you
Right.
want, but let's give the people an opportunity to say, my road is got speeding on it all the time too.
Well, that way we get some input from the residents and they get a say in the process.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
So,
Perfectly. I'll get with Nicole and have her put something on the website.
perfect. And another one, H, I put on, I just need, I wanna get an answer to this question. In the modular, what's the policy on smoking and vaping over in the modular?
I saw that on there, so I pulled the policy we have, which I sent to the board 2 years ago, on May 1st, because a question was brought up. So with the policy, and I remember my recommendation in the meeting was to get with Julie, because the policy basically depicts, it requires a tobacco-free environment. The problem we had 2 years ago with the vapes, well, what if it's not tobacco? Because you can have tobacco-less, nicotine-free vapes, like Jackson, for example. So the policy doesn't prohibit that as it's written, and that was the issue 2 years ago.
What policy, where's the policy?
Policy's in my hand.
No, where did you get it from, the?
Handbook.
Yeah, I read this and I thought it did say.
Well, it does say vapes, but it says tobacco-free at the same time, so you can encompass both, but the policy has, I think, needs to be.
So can you smoke in the building? I asked for both, so you zeroed in automatically on vaping, and my question was, what's the policy on smoking and vaping?
No, you cannot.
Can you smoke in that building?
No.
Can you smoke in a car?
No.
So, we had a discussion in executive session one time about vaping, and so what's the board's pleasure? Because I can distinctly remember in the, meeting, there was concerns about vaping.
Yeah. One of the things about the smoking, the Surgeon General says, if you read the cigarette, I'm trying to be funny, but the cancer aspect of it, and et cetera, and the secondhand smoke of people around. Well, vaping now carries the same warning of the material and the secondhand with people around. So anytime that we are using township cruisers, it's one thing if it's your own car, it's another thing that a car that may be used for someone else, or even if you arrest someone and put them in the back, are they exposed to secondhand vaping for whatever reason? The same thing in this room or in the modula, who's exposed to secondhand vaping? The board here could be, with a smart attorney, if we did allow this, could be subject to a lawsuit that we acknowledged and allowed secondhand vaping, even though the Surgeon General is saying vaping, secondhand breathing of vaping can damage the lungs and etc. So as a trustee, I would say that the policy needs to be updated to include vaping of any kind.
Right.
It's stated on that sign right out there in the foyer that you can't smoke or vape in this building.
Sure.
It didn't say anything about what you're vaping, it just says you can't do it.
Vaping in general.
Right.
So.
That way it takes it, there's no wiggle room around it, no vaping of any kind.
I don't disagree with you.
So,
your argument is not with me.
I'm just looking at where someone will end up with a BWC claim that somebody was injured and they believe it was because of so-and-so used to vape when they worked with them.
The policy states that was put into the handbook, no tobacco products on any township property at all.
Sure.
That would include
chewing,
a past
smoking,
trustee smoking cigars at the fire department.
Right.
Or chewing tobacco. I mean, we gotta make sure we don't leave things out, because
Correct.
if you do, you're gonna open yourselves up to some
Litigation.
liability, possibly.
Right.
I can update and send it to Julie.
No, it's,
So
it's,
then, what do you
go
do
ahead,
about residents that come to the meetings and smoke outside before they come in here?
Well, that's not inside the building. I don't know.
And-
Employees on the property is one thing. It's a little bit harder to say no vaping or smoking on the premises. I think that's a very tough one to do. How do you enforce it? And how do you,
Well, there may be, John, there might be some federal
Yeah, there is.
regulations
Under how far
on
away.
being able to,
600
smoke
feet,
or
yeah.
whatever
Right.
anywhere on the property. Which would be above our policy, so our policy just, I guess, needs to mimic that, and then we can enforce it unilaterally.
I think if Julie would look at our policy and update it, send it back to the board, and then at the next meeting, if the policy needs to be re-interjected into the handbook as a updated form, that would include, or she may say, no, it already includes that, but
Right.
clean up the language to make sure that it's clear.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would cover the township, liability-wise.
So you're gonna take care of that, ma'am?
I mean, I can update it and then send it to Julie for her to revise or amend, so at least it would save her some time if we put some of the content together
Sure.
versus her creating it from scratch, then she can just go in
Bring it
and
back
make
to
the
the
legal
board,
advisements,
and we
so.
can put it across the table and
It-
see what they wanna do.
Okay, so I'll just. make
Anything
sure.
else, ma'am, on that?
No,
It is possible, I don't know how it pertains to governments.
It says chapter 3794 of the Ohio Revised Code bans smoking in all
Yeah.
public places. So we'd have to dig into that a little bit more,
Yeah.
that's all.
One of the, I
Sometimes
read
they
that,
put up a
I read
smoking
that,
section, a
and I
smoking area.
read, two contracts. I feel like there's something in something that I read where they're allowed to have a place to, the employees are allowed to have a place to go
Well, that's what I
and
was.
smoke.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Designated area.
Yeah.
So I think it has to be so many feet away from an entrance or something,
Yeah,
but yeah,
like
you can
20
do that.
feet.
It's in one of the contracts, I'm sure of it,
Yeah.
I just don't know which one.
Like, I mean, I think we can fix it so that it works.
Works for everybody.
Yeah.
Without any issues.
Well, and the biggest thing is, if we clean up the language and we do make a designated smoking area, then I think that cleans everything up.
If people wanna smoke, they should be allowed to smoke, this is, you know what
Well,
I'm
no,
trying
I
to say,
don't-
that's their,
I don't disagree
that's
with
not,
that.
that's not what this is all about and everything, so I'm just gonna tell you exactly how I feel about the vaping. I was going down Hart Road and multiple times, this great big plume of smoke comes rolling out of the window.
Yeah.
Does the person that goes by there know that that's a vape? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Right.
And we got brand new cruisers there and everything. I don't vape, I've never even been, I could have been around some. Do they truly have a smell, that is going to affect the inside of the cruisers and things like that? Never smoked my entire life. Parents smoked the whole time I was growing up, so I've been around it, don't care for it, didn't have a choice then.
Yeah.
But, I'm just trying to say, it's just not a great look. I know what date you're talking about when we were sitting over at the fire
Yeah.
station. And this exact same thing, you were in the meeting. We happened to look out the window, we were at the fire station, and out comes this big bellow of smoke, how I thought it was on fire. So,
Cheech and Chong.
well, the old trustee used to smoke in this firehouse,
Yeah.
right here.
yeah, I can't control anything he did or does,
No?
you know, so you never caught me smoking over there or anything like that, so, but,
But when you're here to serve and protect, I think it gives a bad image to the badge. I'm not gonna condemn someone if they want to vape or smoke, but when you're on the job and you are looked up upon, it just gives a bad image
Right.
for that.
I think we can kick that one to the side now, how about you?
Yes,
Think
sir.
we beat that up enough? So,
Um,
want to move on to time card update. I asked this to be put on there. And what this has to do with, Byron, we had the auditors in here this morning. And what it has to do with is the timekeeping with the, I called you on last Thursday when I was doing time cards. And Dave came over and he was telling me about, what's happening is the guys are punching in when they get here, let's
Yeah.
say, and not following the contract that says 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after in your contract. It's different in the handbook, it's different in other contracts.
Yeah.
I went and looked at it and everything, and it becomes a problem when I'm trying to do the time card because they don't know, and then they punch out, like they sit around and talk.
Right.
And they punch out afterwards, and then Dave said, if there's not a sheet in there,
Right.
then you don't pay them.
Correct.
So what happens to that is you have an audit down the line.
Right.
And we're gonna go back to getting some affidavits filled out by a trustee who signed the time cards, and we're gonna have, years go by. So would it just not, can we just not follow the policy and you punch in 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after?
We can in a perfect world.
Okay,
We don't live there.
okay.
Um,
Where do we live?
In a very imperfect world.
Okay,
So when they come in, I allow them to punch in when they get there because they'll get busy either loading up their equipment or going out on a run. And that way we don't have as many possibilities of them punching in late and us dealing with that. I understand the concern and I will reiterate that.
so this is where we're at on this then. If it's going to continue to be the way it is, then I'm no longer putting my name on payroll. It's that
I
simple.
understand. So,
You heard what the auditor said
yeah,
today.
so Chief, one of the biggest things that we have is, if they don't understand, they don't come back.
Right.
Once we go to a new system, it's not even gonna allow them to clock in early.
No, I know.
So they may as well, what is the repercussions? I've worked jobs where if you clocked in 3 times in 1 quarter, you pretty much lost your job if you didn't follow the protocols, either clocking in early or clocking in late.
Right.
Because it does create a ripple effect throughout, and gives Robin's job, Mike is coming in and checking and signing off on everything. As we are requested by the auditor's office that we should be looking at that. Mike was gracious enough to say, John, you're still working. Brenda, I live right here, you live up north. He's taken upon himself to come in. So we can't just use the narrative that, well, they're gonna get busy and they're gonna forget. It's going to change here soon, so we may as well just get used to the change now and enforce the 5 minutes before and the 5 minutes after.
Understood. Enough said.
I just want to add, I never thought anybody was doing nothing nefarious. I never thought
No.
no one was trying to beat anything.
No.
It's just so hard to do those time cards.
Oh, I know. It's a
Like I explained to the auditor, here's what happened the last time. It came over, I don't know this for a fact, but I assume you check Dave when he does them. So you checked it, Dave checked it, Nicole checked it, Robin checked it. And then I'm sitting there doing it, and then I find the mistake. You understand? That's the thing. He sat here this morning and said the biggest problem in this township is time cards.
That's correct.
He
I believe
sat here
that.
and said that.
Yeah.
And so, and this was on here before I ever had a meeting with him. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? This isn't me beating up, accusing anybody of anything. Not a police officer hater is going to be said. I'm just trying to get things, if it's in the contract, let's live by the contract. We hear that all the time when it goes a different way.
I know.
It's in the contract, we get this, it's in the contract, we get that. This is in the contract, and let's do it.
Good.
Repurposing Cruiser 308.
All right.
I don't know who had asked for this to be put on. It may have been me. I was here the other day. It was that day of payroll, and Dave said that we should consider repurposing Cruiser 308 for Nicole because she's going up and down the alleys and different things with her car, her tires, and cars getting scratched up and everything. And that he said that John had stated to him to see if the sheriff's department would donate a vehicle, and they're not going to donate one according to Dave. So that's why it's on here, and I'll let you speak on it now.
Yeah, if they did donate a car, it'd be in worse shape than the one we got.
Okay?
Yeah, I mean, they're not giving us a new car. So I do think it's an issue with her going up there. In some of those areas, there's a lot of drugs up there. She needs to be really careful. I've offered to send somebody with her or go myself. We do have the car available. I had a quote a few meetings ago, which I shared, for like $1,100. We could change the light bar and put one that's like amber and green. for probably next to nothing. We could get the little decals that Jim puts on his trucks and put them on the side. We can take the stickers off of that car ourselves, and it's more of a transfer from one department to another. It's
Easy, clean.
It's pretty easy and pretty clean. We do use it as a decoy car, but we have other cars. I think it would be well suited for her, but again, it's your decision. But
I think we've kicked this can, either we're gonna do something or we're not.
Do you have any thoughts, Brenda?
I think we should do it because I wouldn't wanna be doing her job, going out in these areas and getting flat tires and me having to pay for it myself, you know.
And the mileage.
Yeah, and the mileage, and then it should be the township's responsibility to pay for her mileage and the upkeep, so.
You wanna go ahead and can we do it with a motion, or do we need a resolution?
Being the fact that there's an expense involved, we would need a resolution.
Can you bring that back at the next meeting, ma'am? It can even be, can we do that if we have a special meeting to
Yes,
get
we
this
can.
moving?
We can read that
We can
off.
just do that at the next meeting.
they're on. There's the quote. I'll just give you that copy.
Anybody, you got anything for the chief?
I don't think so. The only thing I was asking him was on numbers on, Gold Drive.
I covered all
I
mine.
do see, when I'm sitting on my couch and I look out, and if a car's going pretty quick, it flashes slow down. It doesn't even tell you your speed, it just says slow down.
Right.
So I was like, I wanted to know how fast that was.
Which one, the trailer or the
The
others?
trailer.
Okay.
I did go back and check the email you sent, is either Sunday or Monday about your schedule. I just wanna make sure the other board members got it. Byron's gonna be going on vacation at the end of the month.
Okay.
And I think it's imperative that we have him, here for the negotiations, but you don't
Yes.
go till the 22nd, correct?
Correct.
So hopefully we
and I
can have
have-
that wrapped up.
For the union, correct?
Do we have a date yet? For
Yeah, I have a date. I'll get with you.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 10-minute probably. They're gonna, basically slide across what they got.
Okay.
And then we'll meet with them, and then you and I can stay afterwards and take a look at it. Or if you have, I mean, there's no sense in even having dialogue with them until we all sit
Know
down
what
and
they're
talk
asking.
about it, right?
Right. I
That,
agree.
you have anything for Byron, ma'am?
No.
I did add calling devices down. I didn't know where we were with that. We talked about Randsburg, a lot of kids, it's summertime, it probably takes time to get that either approved or scheduled.
So I myself am, I would really like to talk to Jim about it, but, I've made a couple of trips over to,
El
I think
Paso?
El Paso
Yeah.
now, and I'm 100% in agreement with Brenda that traffic on that street has, 100% changed.
Yeah.
One person's complained.
I'm like John, and I don't want to speak for John, he said something about one on El Paso at one point in time. I'm wondering if we can't get away with just one on Randsburg too, at the midway point down, so you would turn
Yeah.
off of, Randsburg, and then you pass Scott,
Yeah.
and then before you got to Wilson, that intersection, and so then they're gonna, even if they started up, you wouldn't think, like I heard someone say in here today, they speed their car up, John, they speed their car up and then they can't get stopped before they hit the stop sign. You're just gonna wear out your brakes,
Right.
and everything, and I guess most of those people don't care, but
I'd say at least one, if
I
not
feel
two.
like one could do just on Randsburg, since there are a big expense. Jim has, I think, 3 allocated again for this year, and then if John decides one on Low, or if he decides 2, but if he decided one, that would leave another one for somewhere else.
Right.
But I don't wanna make any decision today without having the road superintendent in on it, but I didn't realize that I'd marked that off, but that's why, it was
Okay.
on there to just see.
Okay.
We don't want it to get past the time
Yeah.
of getting them done.
Right. Yeah, cause it's.
And
starting
I'm
to be
like-minded, even if I had one on Lowell Drive, and then later we decide to put another one, that's great, but Lowell Drive being, I don't know, well over a quarter mile long, and the amount of traffic, either from the church and the cut through Macklem,
Right.
2 would really help out. One somewhere, down below me so that you would understand how it breaks. Because for me, one step off my property is into the city of Columbus, and that's another 400 feet to the stop sign.
Right.
So somewhere in that area would break the traffic coming this way and before you get to the stop sign. But then you have another quarter mile that they pick up speed until they get, even the church has put calming devices in their own parking lot when you first enter, so that you're not coming in. So even if we had another one prior to El Paso Drive, and then that would, by the time you would get speed up, you could get away with 2 there and maybe not need one before the entrance to the church.
Right. Okay.
Did you have, I'm just curious, did you have thoughts on one for somewhere else in the township, sir?
No, really, it was just Randsburg is the one with the most kids. So
Yep. Well, it's not, I mean, they're probably out of school next week or so, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so kids will be out there playing.
And everything. So I was looking up here, if we get together with Jim one day next week, if we're getting together, it's calming devices are on here under E, so we could definitely speak with him too and then decide what we're going to do from there. You good with that, ma'am?
Sure.
Yes.
So I don't have anything else for you, Byron. I covered everything. Brenda, did you have anything
I
for the
do
chief?
not.
Anybody in the audience have anything? Go ahead, ma'am.
The trailer was on Eastbrook for a while. I'm just wondering, is there any results? I don't know how exactly that works.
I'll get them for, I gave them whatever meeting we did 2 meetings ago.
Oh, did you? Okay, I wasn't.
Yeah, I think the average speed, if I remember off the top of my head, was right around 33-ish. Which
And
is
also,
partly
a lot
because
of
of the
time-
curves or the curve of the road and the traffic, cars parked.
A lot of times that didn't even work.
Yeah.
I don't
The
know if
trailer?
it's about, yes.
Well, the trailer works, but you have to be going above the,
Oh, I
you
got
have to trip it before it'll actually come on.
Okay. I just wonder what the results were. Thanks.
But I'll get you the full numbers.
Okay, great.
Yeah, because I ran facing that trailer trying to get it to kick on, and it wouldn't kick on like the other ones.
I'm gonna let her go and then I'll come to you, Mary. Go ahead, ma'am.
I know I talked to you a couple times about people speeding through that school zone on Frank, and I know it's gonna be irrelevant come next Wednesday, because Tuesday's our last day.
Right.
But last week, there was a Franklin Township police car that came speeding through there.
Okay.
As well as yesterday, there were 2 school buses. But it really worries me.
Yeah, it's one of our worst.
It's bad,
one of our worst.
but when I saw the police officer,
Well, they might have been going somewhere
but
too.
he did have his lights on.
Well, it's.
I'm sorry.
I don't recall.
I'm not complaining, I'm just making a comment. I'm done.
Mary?
Has anybody in my area ever complained about these little motorbikes or scooters up and down Brown?
Yeah, Brown, Richter, Hart.
Because they're out there almost every evening. It used to be young kids, teenagers. Now it looks more like adults. They're like 2 and 4 or 5 together.
Okay.
And then also the speed on board, my area.
Yeah, we have our traffic car working on that, so in that whole area where all that construction is pushing a lot more traffic on the Brown and Hart.
Yeah.
So we're.
Traffic never changed as far as the construction, down at Franklin Brown.
Yeah.
It's just as busy as ever.
Oh, yeah, it's
But
probably
it's,
more.
many scooters, they're not dirt bikes, they're like.
Yeah, I know what you mean, the little tiny ones.
Okay.
That's it, sir. I'm sorry. I was trying to knock out two things at one time. Last one. Old business. Who's taking this? Are you doing this, Brenda? Under old business, the resolution. Do you want just the resolution to be read so we can go into discussion?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I was.
No, you don't have to read it. I can get Robin to read it, but I'm just saying, is that how you want to handle it?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Robin, could you read the resolution under number 1? This keeps me from reading all those numbers.
This is resolution 2026-079, a uniform allowance for road department superintendent. Be resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, hereby continues the township's ongoing authorization to provide a uniform maintenance and additional equipment allowance for the road department superintendent, and further confirms this resolution is in continuation with an existing authorization previously established prior to an MOU ratification in 2025. Be it further resolved that the first pay period of January in each calendar year, the township shall provide each eligible department head an allowance of $500 for uniform replacement, boots, shoes, authorized department-related equipment. Uniforms and equipment shall be purchased through the township's purchase order system from an authorized dealer. This section does not apply to uniforms or equipment that are lost or damaged in the line of duty. Be it further resolved that all former actions of this board concerning relating to the resolution were passed in open meeting of the board, that all deliberations of the board and any of its committees that are resulted in such form or action were in a meeting open to the public in compliance with legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Be it further resolved, this resolution shall be in full force and effective immediately upon its adoption.
I accept the resolution as read. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Discussion? I do have just one question. So Brenda reached out to me about this. I'm curious, John, if you know, because Brenda wasn't here, what we did to stop this from being done. I have a question real quick to you, Byron.
Yes.
This is already in your budget, isn't it? These monies
Yes.
for uniforms and things like that?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just trying to, I don't know who has the answer. Do you understand either one of you? What we did that changed this, did it happen when we did the MOU thing?
Yes.
Yeah, it went out and just didn't come back.
So was it
It
connected?
was part of the package that went out.
Okay, well, I didn't even realize that we
Right.
took those away. I don't even,
Trustee Fuller
I don't remember.
I mean, they've
had
been
been
getting
diligent
uniforms
enough
all
to go
along.
through and looking at that, and, she called me as she called you, and I thought it was important myself that we do diligently and supply, like we do the police, their boots and uniforms and et cetera, so.
No, I wore a uniform for years too, and it was definitely,
And it's in the handbook as well.
Yeah,
so.
it's just one of those that got tangled up with that, and so,
Okay, so-
basically making a correction.
Yeah, roll call, ma'am.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Okay, Robin, I think this is gonna be you on the Township Hall rental agreement.
Okay, well, I've got a series of these to read.
Okay,
Alright, so I've got to go 2026-080, uniform allowance for the police chief and the lieutenant. Be it further resolved that the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, hereby continues the township's ongoing authorization to provide a uniform maintenance and additional equipment allowance for the police department's chief of police and police lieutenant, and further conforms this resolution, memorizes a continuation of existing authorization previously established in the respective MOUs prior to revocation in 2025. Be it further resolved that the first payroll in January calendar year, the township shall provide the eligible department head with an allowance of $800 for uniform replacements, boots, shoes, authorized department-related equipment. Uniforms equipment shall be purchased through the township's purchase order system from an authorized dealer. This section does not apply to uniforms or equipment that are lost or damaged in the line of duty. Be it further resolved that all former actions of the board concerning relating to this resolution were passed in an open meeting of the board, that all deliberations of the board and any of its committees that result in such form or action when a meeting open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Be it further resolved, this resolution shall be in full force and effective immediately upon its adoption.
I accept the resolution as read. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Hearing none, roll call?
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
These ones. Okay. And then this is 2026-081, uniform allowance for the fire chief. Be it resolved, the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, hereby confirms, continues, and modifies the township's ongoing authorization to provide a uniform maintenance and additional equipment allowance for the fire chief. Further confirms this resolution, memorizes a continuation and modification of the existing authorization prior to establishing the resolution from 2021-136. Be it further resolved that the first pay period in January of each calendar year, the township shall provide the eligible department head with an allowance of $800 for uniform replacement of boots, shoes, and authorized department-related equipment. Uniform and equipment shall be purchased through the township's purchase order system by an authorized dealer. This section does not apply to uniforms or equipment lost or damaged in the line of duty. Be Be it further resolved that all formal actions of the board concerning or relating to this resolution were passed in an open meeting of the board, that all deliberations of the board and any of its committees that result in such formal action when a meeting open to the public and in compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Be it further resolved, this resolution shall be in full force and effective immediately upon its adoption.
Accept the resolution as read. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Levin.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
So there's all of those. Thank you. And then this one is the resolution 2026-082, a resolution establishing Township Hall and property rental agreement and fee schedule. Whereas pursuant by the Ohio Revised Code Section 503.25, the Ohio Revised Code Section 505.10, and 505.12, the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, may be authorized to acquire, maintain, or supervise, regulate, or manage township property and township buildings, including township halls and meeting facilities. Whereas the board finds it necessary and proper to establish policies, procedures, rental terms, conditions of use, fees governing the use of the Franklin Township Hall in order to protect township property, preserve public resources, and promote orderly public access. Whereas the board desires to establish a uniform township hall rental agreement, use, and fee schedule applicable to all non-township use or of township facilities. Of all non-township uses of the township facilities. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, establish a procedure governing the use of the Franklin Township Hall and related township properties, adopt a township hall rental agreement, establish the fee schedule, and this will protect the township property to ensure fair and orderly public access. The resolution is adopted pursuant to the authority granted by the Board of Trustees under the Ohio Revised Code. It is now found and determined that all former actions of the board concerning or relating to the adoption of this resolution were adopted in an open meeting of the board in compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. This resolution shall be in effect in full force immediately upon its adoption.
I accept the resolution as read. Can I get a second?
Sir, I'll second that.
Discussion? Hearing none, take a roll call, ma'am.
Trustee Fleshman.
I'm sorry?
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Okay, Nicole. Is Nicole in there, Byron?
Yes.
Okay.
She's coming.
Oh, okay, perfect. I can't see anymore. I used to be able to see her, but I can't see anymore.
Here she comes.
That's because I took your seat.
I'm getting it back.
No, you're not.
You're just keeping it warm. We're up to you, ma'am, when you're ready.
Which part? Did you do 85?
I haven't done any of yours.
Oh, you've done, so we're starting at 83?
Yeah, so did you want me
okay.
to start there? I mean, I can help, whatever you want me to do.
If you want to read 84 and 85, I'll read all the other nuisance ones.
Okay, so you want me to do 83 and 84, which is Broadlawn and Boney?
Yeah, and then if you want to read 85, you can, and then I
Almost
can
looks
help
like you
explain it.
stamped it. That's a really good.
Okay, I will take care of it.
The way
Is that good?
the two
Yeah.
And I'll read all this stuff?
Yeah.
Alright.
This is resolution 2026-083, a resolution authorizing Cleanup Pros LLC nuisance abatement quote for 77 Broadlawn Avenue. Whereas the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township has determined that nuisance abatement cleanup is necessary at 77 Broadlawn Avenue, Columbus, Ohio 43228, parcel ID of 140-002-834-00. Whereas Cleanup Pros LLC submitted a quote in the amount of $550 for nuisance abatement cleanup at 77 Broadlawn Avenue, Columbus, Ohio 43228, parcel number 140-002-834-00. Whereas the board finds it necessary and appropriate to authorize the administrative assistant to accept this quote for Cleanup Pros LLC for the above referenced nuisance abatement work. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the administrative assistant is hereby authorized to accept the quote from Cleanup Pros LLC, the amount of $550 for nuisance abatement cleanup at 77 Broadlawn Avenue, Columbus, Ohio 43228, parcel ID 140-028-34-00. Be it further resolved, the administrative assistant is authorized to take any reasonable or necessary action to proceed with the nuisance abatement cleanup consistent with this resolution. Now be it further resolved that the formal actions of the board concerning or related to this resolution were passed in an open meeting of the board, that all deliberations of the board and any of its committees that result in such formal action when a meeting open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Be it further resolved, this resolution shall be in full force and effective immediately upon its adoption.
I accept the resolution as read. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Discussion? Hearing none, take a roll call.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
There's that one for you. All right, moving on. This is 2026-084, a resolution authorizing cleanup pros nuisance abatement quote for 67 Volney Avenue, Columbus, Ohio, 43228, parcel 140002862. Whereas the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township has determined the nuisance abatement cleanup is necessary for 67 Volney Avenue, Columbus, Ohio, 43228, parcel 140002862. Whereas the Cleanup Pros LLC submitted a quote for the amount of $5,000 for nuisance abatement cleanup at 67 Volney, Columbus, Ohio, 43228, parcel 140002862. Whereas the board finds it necessary and appropriate to authorize the administrative assistant to accept the quote from Cleanup Pros for the above referenced nuisance abatement work. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the administrative assistant is hereby authorized to accept the quote from Cleanup Pros in the amount of $5,000 for nuisance abatement cleanup at 67 Volney, Columbus, Ohio, 43228, parcel ID 140002862. Be it further resolved that the administrative assistant authorized to take any reasonable or necessary action to proceed with the nuisance abatement cleanup consistent with this resolution. Be it further resolved that all former actions of this board concerning relating to the resolution were passed in an open meeting of the board, that all deliberations of the board and any of its committees that result in such formal action when a meeting open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall be in full force and effective immediately upon its adoption.
I accept the resolution as read. Can I get a second?
I will second.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah.
Ma'am?
There's some information that I just want to make sure the board's aware of before you make your decision. So I did end up having the opportunity to speak with the property owner. Previously, I was speaking with a female named Ann. She said that her brother had bought the house and put it in a trust in her name. Well, 3 weeks ago, I asked her for her brother's information since she made it seem like she didn't like being the middleman. Finally, 2 days ago, she sent me her brother's information. I spoke with him. They have filed an eviction that was filed in court on Tuesday. Mind you, that is 6 weeks after my first contact with Ann. But it is filed in court, and after speaking with him, his name's Jack, he's asking that the board allow the 45-day time frame to play out in order for them to move forward with cleaning it after the eviction is finalized. I let him know that I first talked to Ann 6 weeks ago, and things were they went nowhere for about 3 weeks. She was told about a month ago she needed to file an eviction. From her, she's saying that it's because their attorney didn't contact them back, so they had to find a new one. But again, it's been 6 weeks since I spoke with her the first time. But he said he did ensure that after the eviction process played its course, that property would get cleaned up immediately following. But I told him that's the board's decision, whether they want to wait or they want to move forward. And I would let him know.
45 days from just 2 days ago, Tuesday?
Yeah, because eviction's 30 days, Byron?
Yes.
30 days, so, and then I don't know if there's like a set out time frame or something like
So
that.
what comes to my mind?
Exactly, Mr. Chairman,
Is
if I remind
Shakers-
you.
Is that what came to my mind?
But Byron did just say that if the current occupants want to continue taking it to court or whatever, it could play out for up to.
At least 6 months.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may address the board, one was Shakers, two, the people that live in this area and what they've had to deal with, and to say 45 more days, or even if you say 30 days, then it's gonna be tied up in court. They're gonna appeal system when you're trying to get someone out, even though they're a squatter. Again, he is probably barking at the cost that's associated. So in my mind is, even if we wait 45 days, what kind of job are they going to do to eliminate and get this cleaned up the way it should be? Thirdly, the rain is done, the heat's coming on, and who wants to smell all the garbage and trash and start the summer off that way? I think we owe it to our residents to continue forward as we said. We set a precedence. When we tell you we're gonna do something, we're gonna do it.
I'd like to add to what John's saying about it. If you recall, a month ago when we first started, when we did this, to have it cleaned up, the quote was sizably smaller. Last week, the company went back out to review since that much time had passed, and the debris and homeless tents have nearly doubled. Another 45 days, if the homeowner doesn't follow through with what they're saying,
They're in over their head.
who knows what cost we might
The
be
quote's
looking
only
at.
good for 30 days.
Oh, there you go, there's another thing, like Robin just brought up, that quote's only good for 30 more days, so it's
Yeah.
gonna exponentially go up.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else, ma'am?
No.
I'm gonna call the question, I'm gonna call the
Sure.
roll.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
What's that for you, ma'am?
So I got a feeling, Nicole, that even when this is cleaned up in 45 days, it's gonna need cleaned up again.
Probably, that's very, very possible, but, you know, it's also possible that if all of those contents are removed, that the people currently staying there, they're maybe move on somewhere else where there's
Are you
already
doing the next one
contents
too? I can't remember.
piled up for them to start
believe
fresh
so.
again.
Will we have someone there when they go in to start cleaning up by?
Yeah, I was gonna, coordinate that with him.
So Robin's got one more, but before I forget, I just wanted to take, cause I looked at them way earlier, did a wonderful job with the pictures. I really, and I assume we have these on file, like if we
I
ever.
do, yeah, and that's what took so long getting the packet to you guys is.
It's, when you look at these, I wish we could, they'll be up here on the table if anybody'd like to look at them afterwards. All you have to do is see the pictures and you know it has to be taken care of. No one would wanna live next door to that, no one. So,
No one should have to either, you know, I mean, it's.
Robin, do you want me to read 85?
If you want to, when we get to the discussion point, or do you want me to read it and then when we get to discussion?
Sure, go
Okay, I'm gonna read it and then Chairman, when we get to discussion, Nicole's
Absolutely.
gonna share at that point.
Yep.
This is resolution 2026-085, a resolution authorizing the administrative assistant to proceed with nuisance property abatement cleanup services during calendar year 2026. Whereas the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township finds it necessary to address nuisance properties in a timely and efficient manner. Whereas the Board desires to establish requirements and spending limitations on the nuisance property abatement cleanup during the calendar year 2026. Now therefore be resolved, the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, that the Administrative Assistant Nicole Randazio shall obtain 3 quotes for nuisance property abatement cleanup services whenever reasonably possible, is authorized to proceed with the contract with the lowest reasonable quote, provided the total cost does not exceed $3,000 per parcel and sufficient appropriate funds are available within the appropriated township fund. Be it further resolved that if 3 quotes cannot be reasonably obtained, administrative assistant shall maintain documentations demonstrating reasonable attempts to elicit 3 quotes and may proceed with the lowest available responsive quote without the spending limitations authorized. Be it further resolved that any nuisance abatement cleanup cost that exceeds the $3,000 per parcel shall require prior approval by the Board of Trustees. Be it further resolved that this authorization shall remain in effect through December the 31st of 2026. All expenditures authorized herein shall be contingent upon available appropriated funds within the appropriate township fund. Be it further resolved that all former actions of the Board concerning and related to this resolution were passed in an open meeting of the Board, that all deliberations of the Board and any of its committees that result in such formal action and meeting open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. And be it further resolved, this resolution shall be in full force and effective immediately upon its adoption.
I accept the resolution as read. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Discussion.
Okay, so this resolution essentially is, I guess, in a way you can look at it like a pseudo purchase order. You know, a month ago, Bonnie, for example, if this resolution was in place, then I would have been able to just go ahead and accept the quote from the company and have them clean up Bonnie, and we would have been, you know, $2,000 richer. What this does, and $3,000 is just a number that I put on there, basing it off of what the original quote for 67 Bonnie was. Looking at the magnitude of that debris, I figured that's probably one of the worst in the township, so it shouldn't exceed that much. So basically what this does is it says I have to get 3 quotes. If I get 3 quotes, I can choose the lowest. I don't have to come back to the Board every time and possibly delay the action of addressing the issue. And if I can't get 3 quotes I have to at least have proof that I attend, or I tried to get free quotes from people, just like I did with this one. Unfortunately, out of like 5 companies, only this company emailed me back, so.
Are you able to assess this to their taxes so the taxpayer
Yes.
dollars come back? I just want to make sure people at home realize the monies that we're spending up here is going to go back on their taxes. And of course, I wanted to quote that's, in my opinion, that why the gentleman wants 45 days more is because he doesn't want to absorb that cost and try to get it done cheaper or drag it out longer, and we can't do that.
Sharon, can I add discussion?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Nicole, did you have something else?
I was just gonna say, and then obviously, if it's over $3,000, I bring it to the board, and, Robin has spoke with Chris Kirby.
Yeah, that's what I
He
was gonna say.
has been able to
Appropriate.
appropriate, she can explain that part of it.
Yeah, so, when Nicole came and we were talking about this idea, and I said, first and foremost, we need to look to see where, because there's always money in the budget to clean up illegally dumped trash, different things like that. And so I just went to Chris and said, hey, this is the predicament we're in with certain areas of the township. We're dealing with a higher volume that we need to address, and the board has put Nicole kind of as spearheading this initiative to clean up the houses. And so he went in and he appropriated $30,000. So if you look at 3,000 being probably worst case, except for the one we're dealing with at Volney, you could probably get, if we're going to have to knock the 5,000 off of the 30,000, that gives us 25,000. That could be maybe 10 houses. If that's worst case scenario, we may be able to do more.
And we have that line item now. So when this is assessed to their taxes,
Exactly.
it will go back to that line item.
It'll go right to that line item. Yeah.
77 Broadlawn, I believe you read was 6 something, right? So that just shows you that they're not all.
Right,
as
yeah.
The other one was
expensive.
$550.
But
Oh,
delaying
500?
action
Okay.
definitely increases, like even Broadlawn, I think it was like $450, now it's $550. So it's like, the longer we wait, the more people come into these areas, the more trash and, treasure to them they bring with them. And it just ends up costing more money.
You have any questions, ma'am? Sir?
No, sir.
I'll call the roll.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes,
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
And we did have a second, is that correct, ma'am?
we did.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I get on a sidetrack, I can't remember.
I try to mark as I go. I try. Okay, Nicole. So,
I have 3 total resolutions for you guys. Well, I have 3 readings, which encompass many resolutions. So this one is going to be for, nuisance properties. All right. This is a resolution declaring, certain properties within Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio to be public nuisance pursuant to ORC 505.87. Whereas the Franklin Township Board of Trustees has determined that the following properties located within the township, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, contain accumulations of garbage, refuse, debris, junk materials, discarded household items, improper outdoor storage items, miscellaneous refuse, and other nuisance conditions creating blight, unsanitary conditions, pests, and public nuisance concerns. Resolution 2026-089 is parcel 140002882, 3671 Harding Avenue. Resolution 2026-101 is parcel number 140002822, 30 Florence Avenue. Resolution 2026-102, parcel number 140002856, 35 Volney Avenue. Resolution number 2026-103, parcel number 140002899, 3751 Harding Avenue. 2026-104, parcel number 140002857, 39 Volney Avenue. And 2026-105, parcel number 140002850, 40 Broadlawn Avenue. Whereas pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code 505.87, the board is authorized to determine that the maintenance of vegetation, garbage, refuse, and other debris upon property, constitutes a nuisance and order to order the owner to abate, control, or remove such nuisance conditions. And whereas pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 505.87B, for an initial nuisance determination, the board is required to provide the property owner and lien holders of record with at least 7 days notice to abate, control, or remove the nuisance conditions before the township may proceed with abatement activities. Whereas pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 505.87C, if the board determines within 12 consecutive months after a prior nuisance determination that the same owner has maintained a nuisance condition upon the same property, the township may proceed under the subsequent nuisance provisions requiring only 4 days notice prior to abatement. Whereas if the owner fails to abate, control, or remove the nuisance conditions within the statutory time period, the board may provide for the abatement, control, or removal of the nuisance and assess all costs incurred as a lien upon the respective properties pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 505.87F. Whereas it is in the best interest of Franklin Township and its residents to proceed pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 505.87 to remove the garbage, refuse, debris, and nuisance conditions from the above referenced properties. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio. Section 1, the board hereby determines that the maintenance of garbage, refuse, debris, fresh materials, discarded household items, and proper outdoor storage and miscellaneous nuisance conditions above the referenced properties constitutes a public nuisance pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 505.87. Section 2, the owners of the above referenced properties are hereby ordered to abate, control, or remove the nuisance conditions, or otherwise make arrangements satisfactory to the township for such abatement within 7 days after notice of this resolution is provided pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 505.87B. Section 3, notice of this resolution and any subsequent nuisance determination shall provide in any manner authorized by Ohio Revised Code section 505.87, including certified mail, first class mail where permitted, or upon posting on the principal structure with photographic documentation. Posting upon the township website for the required statutory period, or publication upon the township social media account. Failure of delivery of notice shall not invalidate any action to abate, control, or remove the nuisance. Section 4, if the owner fails to abate, control, or remove the nuisance conditions within the applicable statutory time period and no agreement regarding abatement has been entered into with the township, the administrative assistant is authorized to provide for abatement, control, or removal of the nuisance, utilizing township personnel, contractors, laborers, materials, and equipment as necessary. All costs incurred by the township relating to nuisance abatement activities, including labor, equipment, contractor fees, administrative costs, notice costs, publication costs, materials, legal expenses, and all other expenses permitted by the ORC 505.87 shall be certified to the Franklin County Auditor for placement upon the tax duplicate as a lien against the respective properties. Section 6, the board finds and determines that all formal actions concerning and relating to the adoption of this resolution were taken in an open meeting of this board in compliance with the Ohio Revised Code section 121.22. And the board be it further resolved that this resolution shall be in full force and effective immediately upon adoption. So take Robin for granted.
Now you only have to do that 10 more times.
It's resolution.
Two more times.
So what she just spoke about is now correct me, Nicole. It's resolutions 2026-101 through 2026-105.
You mean she's not gonna read that in between?
As well as 089.
Oh, and 089. I've got to pull it.
So do we, that's the resolution.
Somehow that one eluded me in the string of them.
Resolution.
They're all resolutions.
Okay. I accept the resolution as read. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
We almost ran out of alphabet. We
Yeah.
had X, Y, and Z. We would have
That's a
been-
big
Next two are much shorter than that one.
But I sign all of these.
Yeah, you'll sign them all. And yeah, so there should be.
Sign the book, pass it down.
Yeah, so you want to start, it's on the back of this one.
Okay.
And then that way you can just flip them over as you
I'm
go.
gonna give it to you and I'll sign it afterwards, so I can have the meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
I Between you and
So Nicole's gotta
All right.
move on to the rest, she's still got 3 more to go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so, now we're gonna go back up.
on the second
Robin,
page.
these are gonna be 86, 7, and 8.
So it's 86, 87, and 88?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. And this one, these have the letter, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, this is a resolution setting hearing and providing notice concerning certain unsafe and or unsecured structures within Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio. Whereas the Franklin Township Building Department and or Fire Department have found certain structures located within Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio to be structurally defective, unsafe, unsecured, and or otherwise hazardous to public health, safety, and or welfare. Whereas the following properties have been identified as containing unsafe or unsecured structures. Resolution 2026-086, parcel number 140-003-492, 1178 Eureka Boulevard, Columbus, 43223. Resolution 2026-087,
These ones you passed.
parcel number 140-003-518. Address is 1259 Eureka Boulevard, Columbus, Ohio. And 2026-088, parcel number 140-004-972, 901 Joyful Street, Columbus, Ohio. Whereas pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 505.86, the Board of Trustees is authorized to remove, repair, or secure structurally defective and unsafe buildings if corrective measures are not taken within 30 days after notice to property owners and lien holders. Whereas pursuant to ORC Section 505.86, the Board is required to hold a hearing to allow the property owners and lien holders of record an opportunity to be heard prior to the township proceeding with removal, repair, or securing of such structures. And whereas it is in the best interest of Franklin Township and its residents to
The
proceed
resolution,
pursuant to ORC
and then there's the
505.86,
formal letter that
in order
goes
to
to the
correct
property
the
owner.
unsafe
So
and
you
or
sign 2
unsecured
things, there's
conditions
3
existing
that need 2
upon the
signatures,
above
so it's 6
referenced
times,
properties.
and then sign.
Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of
Okay,
Trustees
get your
of Franklin
pen.
Township, Franklin County, Ohio, as follows. Section 1, the Board hereby finds that the structures located upon the above referenced properties are structurally defective, unsafe, unsecure, and or hazardous, and orders that the owners remove, repair, or secure the structures, or otherwise make satisfactory arrangements with the township to correct such conditions. Section 2, pursuant to ORC Section 505.86, the Board directs the township's designee to obtain title searches for the above referenced properties and to provide notice to all owners and lien holders of record that these structures have been determined to be unsafe and or unsecure and must be repaired, secured, or removed within 30 days from receipt of notice. Section 3. The Board shall hold a public hearing on June 25th, 2026 at 12 p.m. At their regular meeting at Franklin Township Hall, 2193 Frank Road, Columbus, Ohio, for the purpose of allowing all owners and lien holders of records an opportunity to be heard and to determine whether the township shall proceed with the removal, repair, or securing of structures if corrective action has not been completed prior to the hearing date. The administrative assistant is authorized and directed to provide notice of the hearing, including date, time, place, and purpose in accordance with ORC 505.86. Section 4, if following the hearing, the Board determines that the township shall proceed with removal, repair, or securing of any unsafe or unsecured structure, the township administrative assistant is authorized to utilize township personnel, contractors, labor, materials, and equipment as necessary to complete such work. Section 5, all expenses incurred by the township relating to the removal, repair, or securing of these structures, including administrative costs, contractor fees, labor, equipment, materials, legal expenses, notice costs, and all other expenses submitted by ORC 505.86 shall be reported to the Franklin County Auditor for placement on tax duplicate as a lien against the respective properties and for reimbursement to the township's general fund. Section 6, the Board finds and determines that all formal actions concerning and relating to the adoption of this resolution were taken in an open meeting of this Board in compliance with the Ohio Revised Code 121.22. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect and be in full force immediately upon its adoption.
I accept the resolution as read. Can I get a second?
I'll second that, sir.
Discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call.
Trustee Fleshman?
Yes.
Trustee Blevins?
Yes.
Trustee Fuller?
Yes.
Nicole, can you step out here a minute?
Yep.
Thank you for, I've noticed in a lot of those, it was raining, it wasn't easy. I'm sure the residents that have to live next door to this thank you immensely, because I get calls all the time, and the very first thing they say, John, would you want to live next to this?
We got
Or,
one more to do.
you don't have to live next to this, you don't understand. So I think being proactive in doing this, and by being able to set up a car for you to go, is the board saying, please do as much as you can, because the residents, this isn't what we want in our township.
Yeah, the car's really gonna help a lot. I feel like I'll be able to explore more. Like my car, if anybody's seen it, it's lower to the ground, it's hard to get through some of the alleys or some of the more unmaintained areas and,
Make sure you make a note of those alleys. If they're scraping your car, they're scraping the residents' cars.
Oh, yeah.
So we
My
would
car
need to
definitely
turn
gets
that over to Jim Stevens for those alleys to be turned back. So make a note of the ones that would need that.
Okay. Alright.
Proceed.
Last one. Last one, a resolution declaring certain motor vehicles located upon multiple properties within Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, to be junk motor vehicles and providing for their removal pursuant to ORC 505.871. The Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio met in person in a regular meeting at 12 p.m. on Thursday, May 28th. Whereas the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 505.871, has the authority to address the removal of junk motor vehicles by electing to implement the provisions of Ohio Revised Code Section 505.871 and 505.173. The Board has determined that motor vehicles located upon the following properties within Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio are 3 model years old or older, apparently inoperable, extensively damaged, and or otherwise constitute junk motor vehicles pursuant to ORC sections 505.871 and 505.173. Okay, resolution, these are gonna be 90 through 100, Robin. 2026.
Yes.
090, parcel number 140-002-763, 138 Coolidge Avenue.
That we're sending across.
2026-091, parcel 140-002-822, 30 Florence Avenue. 2026-092, parcel number 140-002-826, 35 Broadlawn Avenue. 2026-093, parcel number 140-002-877, 3649 Harding Avenue. 2026-094, parcel number 140-002-886, 3691 Harding Avenue. 2026-095, parcel number 140-002-792, 67 Florence Avenue. 2026-096, parcel number 140-002-842, 82 Broadlawn Avenue. 2026-097, parcel number 140-002-857, 39 Volney Avenue. 2026-098, parcel number 140-002-856, 35 Volney Avenue. 2026-099, parcel number 140-004-972, 901 Joyful Street. 2026-100, parcel number 140-002-787, 39 Florence Avenue. And whereas it is in the best interest of Franklin Township and its residents to proceed under ORC section 505.871 in order to remove or cause the removal of said junk motor vehicles from the above referenced properties. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Township Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio as follows. The Board hereby determines that the motor vehicles located upon the above referenced properties within the unincorporated area of Franklin Township constitute junk motor vehicles as defined by ORC section 505.173, being generally described as vehicles that are 3 model years or older, apparently inoperable and or extensively damaged. Section 2, the township shall provide for the removal of said junk motor vehicles from the properties upon which they are located not sooner than 14 days after service of written notice of the township's intent to remove or cause the removal of the vehicles upon the owners of the land and any lien holders of record upon the land, pursuant to ORC 505.871. Section 3, upon proper notice and failure of the property owner and or vehicle owner to remove said junk motor vehicles within 14 days of service of the notice, the township is authorized to provide for removal of said junk motor vehicles, including the use of township personnel, contractors, labor, materials, and equipment as necessary. Section 4, All expenses incurred in connection with removal of said junk motor vehicles shall be certified by the appropriate township official to the Franklin County Auditor, who shall place the expenses upon the tax duplicate as a lien upon the respective properties to be collected as other taxes and returned to the township's general fund pursuant to ORC 505.871. Section 5, the board finds and determines that all formal actions concerning and relating to the passage of this resolution were taken in open meetings of this board, and that all deliberations resulting in formal actions were taken in meetings open to the public in compliance with ORC sections 121.22, except as amended thereby. Section 6, this resolution takes effect and will be in full force immediately upon its adoption.
Accept the resolution as read. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Discussion? Hearing none, can I get a roll call?
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
You wanna start off with BWC under new, or where did you write it in at? You said put it under new business.
Yeah.
You wanna do AD and then
Yeah.
go to it? What do you wanna do?
I'll just go ahead and do the, the agenda was amended this, before we got into the meeting, related to a last minute correspondence that I received from BWC, asking for the board to make a decision on a claim. And so as I said in the email, we can't really discuss it's an existing claim that they've amended or and have made an adjustment to the claim. So this isn't a brand new claim. And the reason they need board approval is because there's been an adjustment to the claim. And so I would just need a motion from the board to either accept the recommendation from BWC to proceed forward with the claim or to deny the claim. And so that's really all there is.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the claim as written from BWC. And if there's no further discussion in the matter, I would just ask for a second.
I'll second it. And you don't have, Dom just put it out there, so we'll take a roll call.
Mm-hmm. Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Okay, let me get this wrong up here. All right, thank you. All
Want
right.
me to do the motion to accept March 26 bank reconciliation prepared by Chris Kirby?
Yeah, I've got it ready for you guys to sign. Chris sent you all the financials when he
Yep.
completed it. So you had an opportunity to review
Can I get a
everything.
second?
I'll second that, sir.
Did you already have a chance to review it too, man?
Yes.
So everybody's reviewed it,
Yeah,
so.
it was
can
nice
we-
getting it.
Yep. When you get a chance, ma'am, we'll take a roll call, because I've already reviewed it also.
Okay, Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna pick up the pace. Okay. And then, let me see what else we got going on. Just a discussion real quick, just to let the board know that the 2027 tax budget,
Yeah, please.
will need to be submitted, prior to the deadline of July the 20th. So I know that there's a couple of meetings in June. I know we don't like to push things, cause the meeting for July would be July 9th. So I'm just like putting it out there that, this is something Mr. Kirby and I have discussed as far as him executing the task, but I didn't know if you were going to ask for a preliminary review to be able to look at things or meet with him or talk with him prior to the final submission. So I just wanted to throw it out there because we've got a few meetings until the deadline. So if you wanted to have me continue conversations with Chris on his availability to talk with you guys in advance. I just wanted to make sure you're aware that the tax budget is a very intricate part of us moving the township forward. As we know, in prior tax budget submissions, it's important that we do it accurately and timely. And so I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that in case we wanted to try to set up some time with Chris.
It's funny that it sets on the agenda, below this discussion, where we would be going to the fiscal department. Would this not be a task that she should be doing?
Well, yeah, typically if there was an active or engaged fiscal officer,
Okay.
that is their task.
That's what I wanted to, that's my question.
Yeah, so this
And
would
my
be a
discussion.
task.
Do you have anything?
for the
No,
fiscal
I think it
officer.
would be, behoove of us that we definitely need to just sit down, go over in case there's any questions. It was very refreshing when, in this particular budget that we had. I can tell you from previous years, I've seen where people just slide and say, here you go, and then I'm trying to read it through the meeting because I need to pass it that day or it doesn't get done. So, Mr. Chairman, anytime that you see fit, schedule-wise, reach out to us, and mornings I think works good for all of us. I know Trustee Fuller schedule may be a little bit different coming up, but whatever works for you guys, shoot me and let me know, and I'm sure it'll work for me.
So Robin, you reach out to Chris and figure out what's gonna work best. And since we all have to be here on Thursdays, maybe we could do like we did today, do it right before a regular meeting. You know, it seems like we have plenty of time. I mean, so I like that we're
10 o'clock and then
getting ahead of it, like it's on here, and I appreciate the fact that it's on here.
I mean, normally that's not something that in my role would be responsible for, but it's important that we keep the township moving forward. So I want to make sure that the board gets the date, and then we can work around Chris's schedule.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
That's it under new business, isn't it, ma'am?
Yes.
And again, nothing from the fiscal department, so I'm just gonna move on. So it's gonna come back to you, Robin, if you would like to do, let me just double check. I think every bit of this is probably gonna be you, if you don't mind.
All right, I'll try to keep things moving here. This is a motion to approve payroll. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board makes a motion to approve the employee payroll for the period of May the 3rd through May the 16th of 2026, the amount of $146,617.26. Direct deposit occurred on May the 22nd, electronic vouchers 1278-2026 through 1330-2026, and there was an exhibit attached.
Accept the motion as read. Can I get a second?
I will second that.
Discussion, hearing none, we'll take a roll call when you can, ma'am.
Trustee Fleshman?
Yes.
Trustee Blevins?
Yes.
Trustee Fuller?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then a motion to approve accounts payable. Be resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board makes the motion to approve accounts payable from May 6th, 2026 through May the 26th, 2026, the amount of $366,116.35 for electronic vouchers paid via ACH 11/92/2026 through 13/61/2026. There's exhibit as well.
I accept the motion as read. Can we get a second?
I will second.
Discussion, hearing none, we'll take a roll call, ma'am.
Trustee Fleshman?
Yes.
Trustee Blevins?
Yes.
Trustee Fuller?
Yes.
Okay. Just real quick, because the last meeting, the board approved for the purchase of a new copier. The copier did arrive. It is working well. We're all tapped into it, so we can use it for our primary printing, copying, scanning, all of those things. There was a discussion at the last meeting about the old copier, and I know we were kind of sitting and not sure what was going to happen. I went back and re-spoke with the fire chief, and he actually agreed to take the old copier up to the firehouse up at 192. So that's where the old copier went.
Good.
I'm going to have to go get some water. My apologies.
You gotta water your horses, John.
No.
Oh my goodness, so sorry.
No, you've been up here just,
All right, my apologies on that. And then letter D, just a update on the review of the ATARMA policies and recommendations. That is still with legal. I just want to make sure that it stays on the agenda as kind of an ongoing until we can get those recommendations back and get those things updated from the legal team. And then the last piece of this is, here it is. I got this information from PNC Bank. I was I was kind enough to be given the information from a family friend on PNC offering this service. It's called UPIC, and it's a Universal Payment Identification Code, is what it's called. And basically what this identifier is, it's a special identification code that the township would receive. And it's a number that we would give out to any entities that that need to pay us, that we would need to give this account information to. So it's just a number, but it's not our actual bank account number. Right. Okay. And so what that number is that you give them that, then they pay us, but that number diverts the funds into our account without our account number truly being out there. And so when I spoke to our bank representative, he said it is something recently new to PNC Bank. And there's basically a one-time $50 charge to create the number with the federal government, because it's almost like a tax, kind of like your tax ID number. And then it's an $8 monthly service fee to maintain the number under their system. And so it just kind of talks about enhancing security. It's safer per payment sharing. It's easy for payment processing because the number is not a bank account number, it's just a general number. And it limits your fraud because you're not giving out your actual bank account number to people. And so I just wanted to make sure that the board was aware of this being through our banking institution that we use, and that I was able to get the information from our bank account manager. And so I just wanted to ask the board their thoughts on it.
That's great. Oh, yeah.
So,
Good stuff. That's really
since
good.
it's spending money, should we ever bring it back a resolution?
Actually, it's an action that can be done with a motion because, well, no, you're right.
there's
We're
a
paying
cost.
for the service, you're right.
It's a $50.
Right, and then $8 a month, so you're correct.
Did you hear what I said, Robert? You want me to repeat it? We was gonna have you prepare a resolution and bring it back to the next meeting,
Yep.
and then we would run it across the table.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think that's very clever, that it's almost like when you use your PIN number and you use your debit card, and et cetera, because let's face it, when we were sending out payments and using checks and somebody was stealing it and then they had all of our signatures on it, they just created another one, and that's what created this, because let's face it, all the criminal needs is that number on the bottom of the check.
And
So
in this way,
anytime you can pay without paying with a check, it's better.
It just continues to strengthen our security within our
If we can
finances.
safeguard to pay people's money for $8 a month, I think that's well money spent.
that finishes you up in that section, I believe, ma'am, unless
Yes,
I missed something.
that's it.
So public comment, anybody have anything that they'd like to speak about that we've talked about in this meeting? Happy to entertain it. Hearing none or seeing none. Trustees update, Brenda.
So there was discussion at the last meeting about putting a passcode on the new copier. That would help to ensure, you know, when we have this place rented or whatever, that they cannot use our copier. You know, and I would imagine too that it would. I would hope that it wouldn't put any undue stress on you guys by doing that. Like, if you had to go in and put it in every time.
It's usually like, typically, I think it's like a 4-digit PIN. And if you wanted it, the board could say that all the employees, if they're using this machine, not when you send it from, obviously, if you're using your computer to print something, you don't have to put the code in. But if you're up there manually using the machine, everybody just uses the same 4 digits. At least you know it's a township person using the device. Because it is sitting here in an open space that is vulnerable. Not saying that anyone that comes in and out of the building is using it, but we're not leaving it vulnerable. Again, it's taxpayer dollars, it's a taxpayer purchase machine. And again, we're kind of protecting it like we are our bank account or anything else. It's an investment.
Yep.
So it's up to the board on their thoughts about putting a pin on the copier.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Sure.
I would like to put this to bed. I'd like to make a motion that we have Robin Watkins move forward on putting a passcode and distributing the passcode as needed to staff members. If there's no further question on this, I'd ask for a second.
I'll second it. Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anything else, ma'am?
Excellent.
Anything
Oh,
else?
no, I'm sorry,
John.
I'm just starting to zone out.
She's probably thinking I'm hungry.
I am.
This is unusual, but I don't really have anything.
Terry, Scooter's wife needs to hear.
Terry.
Okay, so I'm gonna get us out, but I just do have one thing that I need to go over real quick. I want to thank, Robin and, Scooter's, wife, Terry, and her son CJ. They all showed up for the scholarship fund last week, and Robin did a fantastic job. She represented the Township Trustees, and she represented my family, and I really do appreciate it, and it went off without a hitch. It was a beautiful ceremony, well received by the kids. I wanted to say thank you to everybody at Franklin Heights, but I want to mention Mrs. Emsweiler. You've probably heard us talk about her. Robin found out, had a pleasant conversation with her and found out that she's retiring. So I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you to Mrs. Emsweiler, and we're looking forward to working with Franklin Heights next year for the scholarship fund once again, and that's really all I have. So, just like to let everybody know how it went and everything. We are bringing them in on the 25th for a check presentation, and the Mullins family will be here, and hopefully the kids will bring their family. And I think, Robin, did you or did you not tell me you purchased or you
Some
got
bigger checks?
Bigger checks. So
Right,
I know
for
how
fun.
they do. So,
That'd be nice.
we will be able to have a little bit of fun with that too. So I will get us out of here with a motion to accept the audio, video, and meeting summary as the official records and minutes of the meeting, today's meeting. Can I get a second?
I will second that, sir.
Any discussion? Hearing none. I'll take a roll call when ready, ma'am.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
And then the last thing, a reminder, let's see if I can get it right this week. Our next regular meeting will be held on Thursday, June 11th, 2026 at 12 noon. And we are adjourned at 2:27. Okay, 26.
Enjoy the